Hi there, RV and trailer owners. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install Deka's overmolded parallel battery cables. These battery cables are a 0 to 2 gauge wire, which is going to ensure that you're going to be able to draw as much power out of these batteries as possible. If you've got a real big load, you'll be able to get that maximum potential out of this to be able to do so. Smaller cables may limit the output of your batteries, and under certain heavy load conditions it might limit it and it might not be enough to power whatever you're doing. So this will ensure that we can get the max potential out of it. These are also overmolded to protect us against the elements and things from falling down and hitting on them and causing any kind of short. They're also color-coded to make things easy for identifying the circuit, so you easily know that this is our positive side because it's red and this is our negative side because it's black. That's really nice, especially if you're having to charge up your trailer or anything like that. If maybe you're telling one of your children something, hey, go hook it up and charge it, and they may be a little bit unfamiliar, this makes things a little bit easier for them to easily identify which one is the appropriate one. The cables are about 7 inches in length, so that's ideal for a parallel circuit like this, where your batteries are sitting right next to each other, because you can see it's a nice clean look and it's just the right length that is almost perfect. It has just a slight amount of excess cable there that's nice to allow us to easily get everything connected. We're not trying to stretch and pull our batteries real close. And the extra post located on the end gives us an easily identifiable attachment point to hook our trailer up to our battery bank. Now these cables are designed for parallel circuits, but we do have cables that are available here at etrailer that are for your series circuits. So for you guys out there that are wanting to run 6-volt batteries for that increased capacity, we have those available as well. And a lot of times you're going to be hooking those up in potentially a series parallel circuit, so you might need a couple of other sets. For your series circuits, if you've got posts like this that you can attach to, we've got plenty of cables that just have a nice generic end that makes it easy. We've also got these in varying lengths, so depending on your array of batteries and how they're set up and where their positive and negative posts are, you can ensure that you can reach those. The other ones we've got available have top post styles where you'll have a negative on one side and a positive on the other. They are different sizes for your top posts, so it is important you've got the appropriate cable to hook up those batteries without damaging the ends. If you damage the ends, then you're likely going to have an issue later on down the road, especially if you have to service the batteries where you take them out. Once you've stretched that end and you go to put the next battery in, a lot of times they break at that point. So having that appropriate cable is going to make sure you can easily service and do everything you need to do with your trailer without running into issues down the road. We'll begin our installation by first locating our batteries. In many of your trailers and campers, you're going to find it in the front compartment, and on your RVs it's usually in a side compartment or potentially underneath your steps. Once you've located your batteries, we can go ahead and remove our old cables and install our new ones. So we've got our batteries located in our front compartment here. We did remove the top cover off the battery so we could access them. It was just 4 screws and then the cover comes off. So we're going to go ahead and now remove our old cables. We're going to start on the negative side. We're going to remove the one that our trailer is connected to over here. So we're just going to remove the nut. Ours is a 9/16 size, but it may vary on your particular batteries. It just depends on what sides came with them. So we'll disconnect the negative from our trailer. That way our trailer is no longer going to draw any juice from our battery. And we can go ahead and now disconnect the rest of the negative cable. And then we'll remove the positive next, making sure that we remove the positive cable from our trailer here. And we'll remove it from the positive on our other battery as well. And then we'll just set those aside. We can now take our overmolded battery cables and we're going to put them in place. I went ahead and pulled the caps off of them so that way we could slide these over. Your post over here on the sides where you're actually going to be connecting your trailer to. So you want to make sure you have this oriented in a way that's going to make it easy to connect them. Now if we look at our batteries here, if we were to put it off like this, this would likely interfere with our battery box lid here. So we want to try to avoid that. So we're going to put it facing the other way because you can see over here on this side we're not hanging off on the side of the battery. Now we can go ahead and reattach it. So we're just going to use the factory nuts. I always like to start my bolts by hand because I don't like to strip things out. So it might be a good idea there you go. You just need to get a couple of threads on there, and that's good enough started. Sometimes I just take the socket off of the tool and use that in my hand so I can ensure I get it started without stripping it or without cross-threading it, because you'll be able to feel it if you're doing it by hand. They are a little bit more difficult to install because of the overmolding, but that does help keep your components safe from shorts occurring. Ours is in a battery box here, so the likelihood of a short is reduced, but if you've got batteries that are exposed, maybe you lost your lid or you've just got hold downs that keep your batteries in place, this would definitely be an ideal upgrade to prevent any shorts from happening. It also helps keep moisture and dirt out to keep corrosion from occurring. So now we're just going to go ahead and connect those. And then we'll repeat this process with our negative cable. You can see here this one is black while that one's red, so that way it's easily identifiable whether this is the positive or negative circuit from our batteries. So now we can start hooking up our trailer to the batteries now. So we're going to start with our positive cable. It's going to slide over the post on the end there, and then you do get new hardware included with it, so we're going to put on the lock washer and the nut, and we can go ahead and snug that down. The ones that come included are also going to be a 9/16 size. Once we've got that snugged down, we'll do the same thing with our negative cable here, and we'll use the included hardware once again to secure that. And now that we've got our batteries hooked up, you can see here on our power panel for our solar system that it's come to life and it started charging our batteries because we're now powering it up, and we're going to get that benefit from the sun today. Then we can put all of the caps on since all of our connections have been made. This will help protect all of our circuits again from any kind of moisture, dirt, debris, and also from anything coming on there that could potentially short them. Our connections are now made to our trailer, so we're ready to hook up and hit the road. Our installation is basically complete. If you had a battery cover or anything like that, you'd make sure that you put that back on before returning your trailer to service. And that completes our look at Deka's overmolded parallel battery cables.